Welcome. In this video, we're going to look at a few different ideas for how we can provide feedback for our students. The very first one that we're going to look at is a self-check. And if we click on this resource, it comes up with a make a copy link. And when we do that, it is coming into an interesting approach to feedback that I've been working on for a couple of years. And with that, we see that we have these different standards here on the left. And together, or as individual students, they would take these standards, put them into their own words, explain why they're learning it, and then explain how they will demonstrate that they have learned this information. Now, all of this is coming from the perspective of giving students choice and that they have multiple ways of demonstrating their mastery. So again, with this as a class, maybe the teacher has this first row filled in. The next one could be, we're going to do this together, then as a small group, then as an individual, and they can fill that information in. But scaffolding could be very helpful. As we continue down, we have those standards show up again, and this time our students have the ability to reflect on what are they doing that is almost getting to that level of mastery, and that's what this middle column is. That's the desired level of mastery for these standards. With this, they can put in links and be able to say, here's a video of me explaining how I'm almost there, or here is the results from the quizzes that I took as a pre-assessment, and just whatever artifacts they have can go here. Now, the interesting thing that we can also do is sometimes they might be advanced beyond on that same standard, and they might have items on both sides, and they can put those examples in here too. And whenever they reach mastery, all of that content can go in here. So our students would do this for each of those different standards. Now, the first time that you do this, maybe you pick 2 standards to focus on, and eventually we might get up to having 4 or 5 as an option. And then once the teacher has that information from their student, they can start to give informed feedback based on what is above their own personal knowledge and any other artifacts and resources that might be available. This is completely customizable. Once you have a copy, do with it whatever you want. All right, so the next type of feedback we're going to talk about is peer feedback. And with peer feedback, one of my favorite ways to do this is through a digital gallery walk using a tool like Flipgrid. And so if you want to learn how to do this, you can click on this link, and we have a YouTube video that's going to pop up in just a second that walks you through the steps. Now, if you want something that is just here as a template for me, I have that for you too. Okay, so don't worry. In Flipgrid, we have topic templates, and when we click on this one, I did a search for all of the different versions of feedback, and so in here I can, again, look for peer feedback. There are 114 topics that pop up, and so I can come into offer peer feedback, adapt this however I want, and then once I'm all set, I can add that topic to my class, and my students can start to provide feedback to one another. The final type of feedback that we're going to talk about right now is teacher feedback, right? And to do this, the perspective that we're going to take with this is how we can use things like screencast or audio recordings to leave feedback. And I have a video from Matt Miller, one of my favorite educators out of Indiana. And in this video, he gives a 2-minute explanation of how you can use a tool like Screencastify. We also, as a district, offer Screencast-O-Matic. The ideas are the same, even if the tool is a little bit different. So with this, Matt Miller is explaining how we can pull up our students' assignments. Maybe it's coming from Schoology. We pull up that Google Doc, or we pull up the slides that they put together, and we open up a screencasting tool. Now I'm able to go through, give pointed feedback for every single thing that our student is doing, and it adds a personality. We know that so much of what we're experiencing this year is not always feeling connected to our students, and that we have lost and had challenges when it comes to making those connections. Well, screencasting that feedback brings you front and center. There's nothing lost in that translation, and it can be very personal. So again, I will make sure that you have all of these resources linked in the email that you found this in, and I hope that you are able to and are excited about exploring new ways to do feedback. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, and I would love to kick around ideas about any of these or something else. Thank you and have a great day.